Hey y'all, my name is Kayla and welcome to my cozy chaotic corner of the internet. In today's video, I am going to be doing the screen time reading challenge. So for anyone who doesn't know what the phone screen challenge is, it is where you read your daily screen time. Let's say you pull up your phone, you look at your screen time, and on Monday you had a screen time of 5 hours and 30 minutes. So that means that you would have to read for 5 hours and 30 minutes. Now you don't have to read straight for 5 hours and 30 minutes. You just have to, by the end of that day, read 5 hours and 30 minutes. With that noted, I have 4 hours and 11 minutes for Monday. I have 4 hours and 52 minutes for Tuesday. There is 4 hours and 26 minutes on Wednesday. We have 3 hours and 56 minutes for Thursday. Friday and Saturday, we got a little crazy. And for Friday, we are sitting at 6 hours and 42 minutes. And Saturday, we are sitting at 6 hours and 20 minutes. And then for Sunday, we are back down to 4 hours and 17 minutes. I can't do math, but this is the total amount of hours that I have to read for this week. So with that noted, let's talk about the book that I'm going to start with. So because this is still the month of July, I actually have 2 books left to read for my Christmas in July bingo. And those 2 books are actually not Christmas books because I finished all of my winter Christmas themed books. We have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and we also have Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. Now, the reason that these 2 books have kind of waited till the last minute for me to finish in July is because I don't have the audiobooks for either of these. So all the other books I've read had an audiobook for. These ones actually physically will have to sit down and read. Maybe we'll start with Tress of the Emerald Sea and see what happens. But yeah, that's the phone screen challenge we're doing this week. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Puffy with matted grass, and Alex found herself notched into the window seat in the rooms hidden on the top floor of 268 York, reading suggested requirements for leafy candidates. She heard the clock on the mantel tick, the chiming of the bell, a wilderness outfitter, and a...
Okay, y'all. So I am only on page 21 so far. But there is a section where we're kind of getting our first introduction into characters outside of Alex, and Alex is our main character. This first dude we're being introduced to, his name is Trip, and he is explained as a third-generation bonesman, a gentleman, and a scholar, a purebred golden retriever, dopey, glossy, and expensive. And I don't know if the term, golden retriever energy was a thing when Leigh Bardugo wrote this, but if that's the vibe that this Trip dude has, automatically like him. But we'll see. We shall see. Okay, I know it looks really dark. It's actually not that dark. Pretty light outside still. It just looks dark. I'm 95 pages into this book, and I'm not really vibing with it, which is kind of upsetting because I've heard so many people say such good things about it. And the synopsis, in theory, this should be a great book, but it's just boring. The scenes where people are actually interacting is interesting, but then there's these long, almost soliloquies of Alex just going about her day, and I'm just oh my god, I can't. And also, apparently I just can't do paranormal, because I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but spoiler alert, there's these things, you learn about these things pretty early on in the book, so I don't feel that bad about it, but there's these things called grays, and they're pretty much just ghosts. And every book I have ever read that contains ghostly spirits, just, I don't vibe with. But so far, Ninth House, I honestly don't know if I'm going to finish this. I have an hour and 15 minutes left. And I think I'm going to spend that reading something else. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. I did not meet my reading goal yesterday. I technically still have 41 minutes left because I just got sidetracked by, I made dinner. I was working on putting together my fitness journal because that's a new thing that I'll be talking about with y'all eventually. Oh, and then every time Chris comes home from work, we always like watch a YouTube video together. And so, you know, I just had a busy evening and I tried staying up late reading, but I was just like, I'm so tired. I have to go to the gym. Like, I honestly, right now, currently, it is 6:02 and I do not want to go to the gym. But I know as soon as I get to the gym, I'll feel so much better, especially after I'm done at the gym. So we're going to the gym and I'm bringing my Kindle, actually. Where is it? I'm bringing my Kindle because there's an audiobook on here that I'm listening to. I started The Wedding Party last night. I think that's the name of the book. Interesting so far. I don't know how I feel about the book, actually. But yeah, I told y'all last night that Ninth House was just being a drag, and I don't know if it's gonna be one of those books that I like return to eventually down the road, but it's definitely a book I'm just not eating at this current moment. Okay, y'all, today just was not my day at the gym, and I blame this heat. And it's not just the heat factor. Like, currently it's 72 degrees outside. It's the humidity. Like, we have officially hit terrible Minnesota summers. Just god awful humidity. I only listened to my Kindle while I was on the stair climber, so I have 30 minutes left, I think it was. Yeah, I have 30 minutes left, because I remember I was like, I'm gonna make it to the end of this chapter. So yeah, I have like 30 minutes left from yesterday. I need to go home, have some coffee. I'll check in with you guys after I finish my time from yesterday. How about that? I like that idea. Okay, y'all, so we have officially finished my time from yesterday. So today we need to knock out 4 hours and 52 minutes. And again, I think that's feasible. It's just a matter of me prioritizing reading over other things. I don't have any other like random little projects that I have to work on today. Like yesterday, again, I was filling out my fitness tracker, so that took probably more time than most people would assume it would. Like, it took me, I think, maybe 2 hours to do. And while I was doing that, instead of listening to an audiobook, I had YouTube videos on in the background. So, I mean, I could have listened to an audiobook, but to be quite frank, at that point, I was kind of already over Ninth House. And I haven't looked for Tress of the Emerald Sea on audiobook, but I mean, I have. I looked on Spotify. I don't have any Spotify credits, and actually, Tress of the Emerald Sea is not included in Spotify Premium. It is a book you would have to buy anyways. And on Libby, the hold for it is ages and ages and ages. That's why I didn't start Tress. And The Wedding Party, I started once I pretty much was official on my decision to not continue on with Ninth House. So yeah, I'm gonna keep listening to The Wedding Party. It's all right. Like, it's definitely probably gonna be a 3-star book, which I don't mind. Like, I don't mind 3-star books. I think 3-star books for me typically are just kind of like those fun books that are just like, it's an easy book to get through, you know? Today we have 4 hours and 52 minutes to knock out, but I'll check in with you guys in a bit. Not sure when I'll check in, but I'll check in later. Start a timer for 4 hours and 52 minutes.
4 hours and 52 minutes, starting now.
Okay, y'all, The Wedding Party. It has gotten very interesting. But like, there's two main perspectives with like a few other perspectives sprinkled in. And the two main perspectives are Andrea, our FBI agent, and then Carrie, who is an ER nurse. I actually didn't read the synopsis of this book, so I'm not going to tell you kind of what's going on until I read it, just because I don't want to spoil anything. But let's just say the twists and turns have turned and are turning, and yeah, it's pretty interesting so far. I actually don't know how far I am in it either, like percentage-wise. I haven't looked. But I listened to it for 2 hours this morning. So I have 2 hours and like 40 some odd minutes left to read for the day. I like guessing what's going to happen. I like guessing the twists and turns. And then I love finding out that I was right about the twists and turns. But currently I have no guesses for where this is going. So when I do have an idea, I'll let you know if I was right or wrong. But currently, I'm just enjoying the book.
You have 1 hour and 10 minutes left on your 4 hour and 52-minute timer, but it's currently paused.
Ooh, 1 hour left, y'all. I totally forgot to catch you guys up last night on reading. So I actually overshot my reading goal yesterday by 40 minutes, which means I got to subtract 40 minutes from today's amount. So today, my previous total amount had to be 4 hours and 26 minutes? 16 minutes? I can't math. But now my new total is 3 hours and 46 minutes. So trust me, I did the math on a piece of paper, y'all. I just can't math in my head. But I remember looking at my piece of paper today and it said 3 hours and 46 minutes. So that is what we have to read today. I'm currently at my gym. I'm gonna go work out, and during my stretch, I'm actually going to listen to The Wedding Party. I think I'm like at 89% of the way through The Wedding Party, and I'm just like, what is gonna happen in this last 11%? What is gonna happen? Because the shoe has not dropped yet, y'all. Even like the bombshell we did get, I was just like, I don't know, it just didn't faze me. So I'm intrigued to see how this one is gonna end, because I feel like we're still building up and we just haven't even got to a point where it's like, oh my god, this is what's happening. Like, are we gonna get that at the very end? I have a feeling we're gonna get that at the very end. Anyways, I gotta go work out. Of course, the 10 minutes that I listened to the audiobook is like the 10 minutes where something like interesting actually starts happening. But I'm very much the type of person, I need to listen to like music when I'm actually working out. Like stretching or walking, I can listen to an audiobook, but I'm just like, I cannot listen to an audiobook while trying to work out. But it's still very much feeding into the, well, it could be her, it could be him, it could be someone we don't even know yet. And there's also like this character that made an appearance in like the beginning of the book that no one's referred to yet, at least not that I recall no one referring to. Maybe they did, and then I just was blanking out during that time. But there was like this woman in like towards the beginning of the book, and I'm like, you literally like noted that this woman was here for like 0.2, you saw her for 0.2 seconds, but I'm like, how are you not? I don't just okay, I have to go and get quarters, and I might treat myself to a little like s'mores something at Dunkin'. Apparently there's like a s'mores iced coffee situation at Dunkin', and I haven't been to Dunkin' in ages, so clearly I need to treat myself to a little something. Y'all, I got the s'mores cold brew. Let's be real, that first sip was all just the marshmallow topping. I love a little treat. I actually had to think really hard, because when I was ordering, she's like, do you want like cream or sugar in that? And I was like, Starbucks never gives you the option of cream and sugar. Then again, they probably would charge you for it. But I always forget how much I love like a cold brew with like a sweet foam topping on it. I always forget. I also swung by the laundromat to pick up quarters, because I gotta do laundry. We got to do laundry today. Also, at Dunkin', I got a sandwich. And I feel like Dunkin' is so hit or miss when it comes to like their breakfast sandwiches or like the hash browns or stuff. I feel like every single time I get them, it just like tastes like it came out of a package, especially their hash browns or their little tater tots. That's always so disappointing when you like go to eat a tater tot and it just like tastes like plastic or cardboard. Ugh. Also, today's gym fit, I'll have to show you guys the gym fit before I like take my shower, because I really like it. I don't know why, but lately I've just wanted to have like the same basic gym uniform, because it's been so difficult for me to go to the gym. So like the less I have to even think in the morning getting dressed, the better. And so I think I've kind of figured out my gym uniform, which means I may or may not be going to the store this weekend and like just buying duplicates of the same thing. But I'll show you the fit when I get home. Okay, y'all. This is my new gym uniform. It's all black, super simple. I just want to get like a bunch of black t-shirts, short sleeve, long sleeves, and I already own a bunch of black leggings. But then it's not all black because obviously I switch up the hat so that varies on color. But got the white socks, white crew socks, and also my white shoes. These bad boys. So that's like the new gym uniform. Did you guys care? I don't know, but I've like been thinking about it so much lately of like what I'm gonna be wearing to the gym. I'm gonna go take a shower now because I'm gross and sweaty. Okay, bye. I finally got the audiobook for Ninth House from my library. I listened to it for 15 minutes and I just kept tuning it out. Like maybe I'm just not in the right mood to listen to Ninth House, if that makes any sort of sense. I'm sure it does. If you're watching this, you probably actively read and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like you just aren't in the right mood to read this book. And so I'm not sure. So we're softy in effing Ninth House. I think I got like 20% into Ninth House. And by 20%, we did kind of have a general story of what was going on with Alex. Because here's recap of what Ninth House is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about this girl, Alex, who is, you know, from the lower end of society, and like there was no chance of her ever possibly going to an Ivy League college. She is given this offer to go to Yale, full ride to Yale, if she joins like this super secret society at Yale. We start the book off already at Yale. And for some reason, I really wanted more of the backstory of like what her life was like before. Like, I don't know. I just wanted there to be like the storyline of like, here's her life before and her getting the offer to go to Yale and then going to Yale. But instead, we're already at Yale and then we're getting told what happened. And so it's more telling and less showing. And I love being shown a storyline, not told a storyline. So you're given like the storyline in the synopsis where you're like, oh my god, this sounds really interesting, but now in the actual book you're just being told what that storyline was. I think that's kind of one of my big qualms with it. But okay, so you know how I was telling you guys about how Dunkin' is like hit or miss with their food? I can never have their hash browns again because those were probably the best hash browns I have ever had from Dunkin'. Ever. Like, I'm sure even if I go back to that same place, it's not going to be the same because, oh my god, those were such good I wish I had gotten more hash browns. I was just like, yeah, just add some hash browns just in case. Little did I know they were going to be the best hash browns I've ever had. Okay, y'all, I have just under 3 hours left of reading today. I honestly didn't do any reading during my day at all, which is why I still have like just under 3 hours left. But I did just finish The Wedding Party, and I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's just going to be like a 3-star read and that's it. And my main like qualm with it is that it just ended so quickly. I feel like the last 4 chapters was just like a rush to the finish line, which I don't like when it comes to thrillers. I feel like, oh my gosh, you know what thriller did it really well? 2 of them, actually. None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell and The Girl on the Train by, I can't remember her name. but those two thrillers did it really well because there was still like a decent amount of the book left when you got like the twist, but then there were like additional details interwoven with the twist. Whereas this one, I feel like we got the twist and then we got a red herring, which I mean can be fun, but this red herring wasn't fun. And then like the last two chapters, it's like, oh, this is who the killer was all the time. And I just didn't really like that. Wasn't really a fan of it. It was all right. It's all right. Also, I don't know what book I want to start next. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm just not in the mood to read today, so I might have to just throw those additional 3 hours on tomorrow, which probably isn't the smartest move because tomorrow's Thursday. Never mind. Throwing it on Thursday is fine, but Friday and Saturday are my 6-hour screen time days, so I'm gonna have to play Big Ten catch up tomorrow. But you know what? Also, like I've been so focused on trying to wrap up like Ninth House and Tress the Emerald Sea and like wrap up my July reads that tomorrow is August 1st. So it's a fresh start, meaning I can start new books and not really feel that bad. And also August 1st means my Spotify audiobooks re-ups. And also my Audible books re-up, so I have more audiobooks to choose from tomorrow, so that'll be nice. This morning, I really just wanted to sit down with an actual factual book. I decided to pull out Holly Black's debut novel, Tithe, A Modern Fairy Tale. This was actually one of the books I read in my youth. I read it when it first came out because when I was like, I always grew up going to the library a lot, but I started going to my middle school was literally like just down the road from my middle school was my like our public local library. And so after school, I would always go to the library. Pretty much every single day, you could find me and my friends at the library. And so obviously, with going to the library, well, maybe not obviously, but for me at least, going to the library, I was almost always checking out a plethora of books. And one of those books was Tithe by Holly Black. And I just remember this was kind of my introduction into edgier fairy realms because growing up I was always fascinated with fairies and magical mystical things and fantasy worlds. But then, you know, you start to get that preteen angst where the things that you loved and enjoyed as like a child start to like dissipate. But I don't know, something about this cover here, childhood Kayla was so very much drawn to it. And I say childhood Kayla, I was probably like 12, 13 when this came out. So as I was saying, Tithe was like one of the first books that really introduced me back into my love for fairies and magical mystical things. I would say in the past year actually is when I realized that Holly Black was still actively writing. And I saw her name pop up on something of like, I think one of her Cruel Prince new releases were coming out or something like that. I just got so giddy because I so fondly remember reading Tithe. Like, as soon as I saw her name, I was like, oh my god, I know that name. I know that name. Why do I know it? I was like, it was literally one of those things where you're like, I know that name. Why do I know that name? That name is so familiar. And then I was like, oh my god, that one cover. Because this cover, I was just like, had ingrained in my brain apparently. And so I looked up Holly Black and I saw Tithe and I was just like, oh my god. I had a little fangirl moment. Everything about this book was so Kayla coded. so preteen, teenage, Kayla coded. This is like, you look at this book and you're just like, that was Kayla. That's how Kayla's brain worked. And still to this day, there's something so satisfying about this book. Hi, Binkies. I know. Jinky is always like, when it starts to get really hot and humid, her skin starts to act up. And she just becomes a sad little girl. And I feel so bad for her. So she just wants all the extra attention during this time. So Jinx isn't, I don't know if you guys can tell, but she isn't a purebred German Shepherd. Her mom is a Shepherd mixed with Catahoula. And that's where, you can't really tell the way she's facing right now. But that's where she gets her unique coating. She has like unique spotting on her that everyone's like, oh, what is that? It was definitely more prominent when she was a little baby, but it's still, I still notice it. I still notice your beautiful little spots. And especially on her chin. That's feature I love the most because no one ever really sees it unless they're like on her chin. But she has like this little speckling right underneath her chin, which I love. But so the reason I'm bringing up what her breed is Catahoulas are like notorious for having skin issues. And thankfully, for the most part, Jinx's skin issues only flare up again when it starts to get really hot and humid. During the winter, she's a happy little girl. But that's Jinkies. But yeah, sorry. I'm going to stop talking. We're going to start reading Tithe and just have like a little nostalgia fest this morning. I didn't read anything else yesterday, so we're still have an additional 2 hours and 50 minutes. I did do the math last night, and I think that brought me to 6 hours and 46 minutes, if I did my math correctly. So I have like just shy of an hour left from yesterday's makeup time, and then I will be starting today's time. Quick break before I hop into a meeting for work. My Evernight box came, so I figured we'd do a little unboxing. I quite frankly don't understand how people can do like giant big unboxing hauls unless they literally get everything like on the same day, because I'm the type of person, as soon as I get a package, like I have to open it right away. Like I will literally be walking up the stairs from grabbing an Amazon package and opening the package as I'm walking up the stairs. So I just don't get how people have the restraint to stockpile all of their packages and then open them all at once. Kudos to you if you have that sort of restraint. I do not, but I figured we can open the Evernight box. Now, we all know my last experience with Evernight wasn't the greatest because first off, I didn't like the book, but secondly, I hated the cover design. This one, I'm actually really excited for the book. I just hope like the cover's good because the standard cover for this book is just amazing. Hopefully this one's better. Open it together. See what we got. You guys get the first look. Ooh. Okay. I like the back. It's so tiny. I don't know why. It just feels like such a slim book. So this is the cover. Do we like it? Oh my god, the edging, y'all. Ooh. That is creepy. I don't know if I love the cover though itself. I typically don't go for like illustrated like this, but oh my god, look at that edging though, y'all. Look at that edging. It's just... But yeah, I think the part that I don't like about the cover is the font of the actual title itself. Like, I like the cover. I like the artwork. And I like that the blood is actually a gloss on the cover itself. Like, it's a matte cover with a gloss. But yeah, I don't like the font choice they went with. I almost wish, actually, you know what I wish this was? I wish they had taken the image and like pulled it down further and just had it be the image and then just have the title on the side. I feel like with special editions, you could do shit like that where you don't have to be as like commercial about it. Like you can have just a cover be just like the illustration. But those eyeballs, oh my god. This might be the first book that I have like the edges just chilling facing forward because that is stunning. So if y'all don't know, Evernight is the horror box for Illumicrate. Like, you have your fancy different cover, but then you also have like printing on the actual hardcover itself, as well as end papers. So here are the end papers. That's the end paper for the front. And then this is the end paper for the back. Ooh, oh my God, I wish this was the cover. Oh, I just saw the actual cover, and this might have to be a naked book. This might have to just be a naked book on my shelves because, oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. Oh, I am obsessed. It's giving me like Aeon Flux vibes. Oh my God. Oh my God. I love everything about it except for like the actual cover itself. Like the edging is stunning. This image right here, I wish they had used this for the dust jacket. That's gorgeous. I'm excited to read this book. We might have to add this to my August TBR. Very excited. Very excited. Before I hop into this meeting though, Starling House. I'm not sure how I feel about it. We just got to like an interesting part. So it's getting a little better, like 20 pages into it so far. And my one big complaint about the audiobook is that this is a book that has footnotes in it. Not sure why. I feel like the footnotes don't really add much. Maybe they will over time. But my complaint is that with this book, the footnotes are read differently than the actual story itself. And so you're in like this very mystical, mysterious tone. And then it's just talking about the footnotes like this. And then it returns to mystical, mysterious tone. Whereas like Emily Wilde's had footnotes, but it blended so seamlessly into the style of not only writing, but the style of narration that you didn't even notice the footnote portion. Whereas like if I was reading Starling House, to be honest, I'd probably skip the footnotes. I'm a big footnote skipper. Unless I really feel like I need additional context, I don't read the footnotes. Yeah, that's like the one thing I hate is like there'll literally be a footnote up here and then it will stop in the middle of that sentence to continue on with like the footnote portion, and then it'll carry on with the rest of this. It just breaks up the flow of the story so much. And I just don't like it. I have like 25 minutes left on yesterday's timer still. It is currently 1:40. Here's the situation. I was really enjoying reading Tithe. So I honestly think once I'm done with work, I'm just going to go back to Tithe and read that because I'm 99.9% positive I could easily do not only the 26 minutes that I currently have left remaining from yesterday, but also do the 3 hours and 56 minutes that is supposed to be for today. I think I can easily do that. I do not know how I feel about Starling House. I am indifferent about the audiobook. And here's the hard part. I feel like I've explained this a lot in this video because this video has predominantly been me listening to audiobooks and not actually reading the physical books. But audiobooks can be one of two things. They can either be like huge misses or huge hits. And typically if an audiobook is absolutely chef's kiss, amazing, phenomenal, it means the book itself is just really good. However, there are times where like the book itself can be really good, but it just has like terrible narration. This book doesn't have a bad narrator. Like I'm not upset with the narrator, but there's something just very monotone and almost sleep-inducing to the way the narrator talks for the portions of the book that aren't dialogue. And it's a lot of non-dialogue, which I think I'm starting to discover. I'm the type of reader that needs character interaction. Like there has to be conversations and stuff going on. I can't just have like chapters upon chapters of just being like kind of told what's happening around in the world. I need character interaction. I need things to be happening. I can't just have like these long soliloquies or monologues or explanations of what is going on in someone's brain, or even actually what's going on in someone's brain is far more interesting than just like kind of what's going on in the world. Yeah, I'm gonna put on Starling House and we're just gonna let that one simmer. I need to know how people actually do this challenge. Like, the people who do this challenge, do you guys not have jobs? Do you not work? Do you do it on days where you don't have work? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What am I looking for? My brain is all over the place right now. I have some minutes that rolled over, and not in the good way. Y'all, remember how I was so hyped? I was like, yes, my minutes are gonna roll over. It's gonna be great. I'll overread. It's gonna be fantastic. And all that's rolled over every single day has been my minutes from the previous day. I have 2 hours and 49 minutes left from yesterday. So I read 1 and some change of the actual time I was supposed to read yesterday. Today, I have to read 6 hours and 43 minutes plus my 2 hours and 49 minutes. I don't think I'm going to complete this challenge. I think it's humanly impossible. I genuinely am baffled how people are able to successfully do this challenge. And I genuinely think the people who do this challenge, either are lying, but we'll go with the not so nefarious one and say B, they do YouTube full time so they can easily do it because that's their only job, or C, they'll like take time off and do it on that time off, because that's what I should have done. Apparently I should have just, my boss keeps telling me, Kayla, you gotta take more time off, so I should have just taken a week off and done this challenge during that week. I was reading Tithe, I was getting into it, and then y'all, even though I read Tithe when I was a small human being, I don't really remember what it was about. I knew it was about fairies, and that was about it. Hey y'all, editing Kayla here. I just wanted to hop in here because I was kind of going on an unnecessary tangent, and I just want to note that rereading Tithe has been such a fun experience because it's not only am I being reintroduced to the story itself, but also because I read this when I was younger, I'm kind of just having weird little flashbacks and memories pop up in my head about feelings and emotions and things that were going on in my life when I read that book. So doing this has kind of been really fun because, again, this is a book that I've read like 15 years ago, and you're just getting like these little moments of time back. So I don't know, maybe I will start rereading books from like my youth at the least. But yeah, I'm getting ready to go to the gym, and when I'm at the gym, I gotta do like some stretching. Today's a back day, but like right in my lats, my traps, this area right here is really tight right now, so I'm gonna do some stretching, and while I'm doing some stretching, I'm gonna listen to an audiobook. Okay, y'all, so I just got back from the gym, and first off, had a really great workout. Love that for me. I think Tuesday was like kind of a crapshoot. Like, I went to gym, had zero motivation, and just like, ugh. So I was kind of concerned that today was gonna be the same way because I felt the same way as I did Tuesday. Like, when I woke up in the morning, same type of energy. But it was a really great workout, and I actually listened to an audiobook for the entire workout, which typically I don't do. I don't know. I was doing back and shoulders, and for me, back and shoulders are like my safe space. I love doing back day. I love doing shoulder day. Like, those are my favorite days, and the fact that they were like combined, it was just like, it's easy and effortless for me. Like, I'm not thinking about it. I'm not thinking about how like my knees are hurting. I just don't think. So I think that's why I don't like need hype music during that kind of workout routine. So I don't know, maybe audiobooks will be like incorporated more into my workouts, just not leg days. Leg days, I really need hype music, which is kind of funny because leg days used to be like my favorite work day. And now I'm just like, I'm sure I'll grow to love it eventually the more I start working out, but I was listening to an audiobook. I actually started In My Dreams, I Hold a Knife. So far, it's actually really good. And I think I have it's like an hour and 29 minutes left from yesterday. And then I can start the almost 7 hours for today. Oh, geez. Anyways, I have a meeting with my dietitian in like 30 minutes. And yeah, see y'all in a bit. Y'all, not me thinking that I had a black baseball hat in my car today. No, apparently I don't. It doesn't necessarily like match the shirt vibes. So if I knew this was all I'm gonna be rocking with today, I would have just worn a black shirt. But whatever, it's a hat. Am I gonna complete this challenge? Quite frankly, I don't know. I actually did not listen to audiobooks at all during my work day. It was just set today. This is the thing. It's actually been such a busy week for work. So I didn't have time. This was like the worst week, honestly, to do this challenge. We'll see how this challenge goes. Quite frankly, here's the situation. As soon as I got off of work yesterday, I was reading my books. I started with Tithe, I started falling asleep. I was just tired. I was so tired. It was like a mentally draining day. And so I decided to start I like woke myself up a little bit, splashed some water on my face. Not really. I just like took a break from reading and got up and started moving around a little bit. So then I started listening to In My Dreams I Own a Knife while I was labeling all my spice jars. You guys have to remember, first off, I started with practically 2 additional hours on top of what I was supposed to read yesterday, and what I was supposed to read yesterday was pretty much almost 7 hours. So we dwindled that amount down to 6 hours, and I think we're in like the 30-minute mark area. And so 3 hours. Did I say 6 hours? I meant 3 hours. We're down into like 3:30-ish. And today is like another almost 7-hour day. So in total, well, I don't know the exact numbers. In total, we have about 9 hours and 40 minutes to read today. It's a lot, but I have a bunch of errands I have to run, so I figured, just crack away at an audiobook. Did I want to go to the gym? When I first woke up, no, I did not want to come to the gym. But then I was like, Kaylee, you're not going to want to go to the gym later today, so just drag your butt to the gym. And so I'm here, and I'm actually kind of really excited. Okay, y'all, we got some updates to talk about. I have like 30 some odd minutes left from yesterday's time, but I did just finish In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, and it was really good. I actually quite enjoyed it. I don't even know what to say about it. I think I have to process it. I actually really liked the way it ended. Like, I was mad, but also like it was a satisfying ending. Thrillers can be like one of two things. They can either wrap things up way too quickly, or it just like is a really good, like well-paced, good flow kind of book. And I feel as though In My Dreams I Hold a Knife was a well-paced, nice flow kind of book. Like, at no point was I bored. At no point in that book was I bored. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's like a 5-star read though. And I can't place my finger on why I don't think it's like absolutely amazing spectacular. I think it was just like a really good book. If that makes any sense.
Iris had typed another message to Forrest and slid it under her closet door. It too had vanished.
I feel like a shell of a human. Okay, not really. I just thought that'd be fun to say. So I have like an hour and 36 minutes left of my minutes for today. I don't know if I'm going to read more than that. I started Divine Rivals, and I'm obsessed. I'm listening to the audiobook and also reading along, but also reading ahead. This is how far I am. So the big chunk, read that. Littler chunk, currently reading that. So an hour and 36 minutes. I'll probably get like halfway through this littler chunk. And I don't know, am I gonna finish this book in one day? Possibly. I'm not gonna lie, I am like slightly fatigued. Like, it's just a lot of information you're taking in. The thing with reading, whether you're reading an audiobook or you're reading a book physically, is you are like you're actively engaging with the information. And for me, when I have like YouTube videos going or anything like that, I'm not necessarily actively engaging with it. So just to be actively engaging with something for 7 hours now, oh my God. I just need a little breather. I need a little break. So I actually have a bunch of laundry that I have to fold. So I'm just gonna like turn on a random YouTube video and just have that in the background while I fold. But Divine Rivals, oh my God, it's so good. But I've literally been hunched over this book, just consuming it all day. I'm like so tired. Like my upper body just feels tired currently. Anywho, I'm gonna take care of this laundry. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hello. It has officially been 1 week. We read every single day this week. Every single day this week. Hold on. I need to grab my stats. Now, for some people, you may be like, cool, you read every single day this week. Good job. And yes, you know, for some people, that is fantastic. Especially if you are not an active reader and you read every single day in 1 week. I think the nuance comes into play when you think of the fact that this was probably the most amount of time I've spent reading in quite some time. I mean, like, I read pretty much every day, but am I spending 6 hours a day reading? Not particularly, not typically. That's not usually a common occurrence in my life. Saturday, when I was reading Divine Rivals, and I was like, I was actively, like, that book is tabbed up, scratched up, written in, highlighted, scribbled in. Like, that book is probably the most heavily annotated book of mine to date. So to be actively engaging in a book for, we'll just say it's 6+ hours, that was exhausting. Like, it was interesting how tired I was after I took like a break from reading Divine Rivals on Saturday. And then also Sunday was such an interesting phenomenon. I was like, why am I so tired? So Sunday I woke up, went running around to all the different Targets, which in and of itself wasn't that draining, to be quite frank. And then my partner and I went out shopping after that, once he got up for the day. Then literally not halfway through our shopping day, but like towards the end of our shopping day, he was like throwing out ideas of like, do you want to go to Deadpool? Do you want to go to this? Do you want to go to that? And I'm like, quite frankly, I'm like so tired right now. And as soon as we got home, I just like laid on the couch, turned on a video of something, and passed out. And if y'all know anything about me, I'm not the biggest napper. Like, I don't typically nap, so that was an interesting phenomenon. And I was like, is this literally just from reading all week? Am I this exhausted just from using the brain house a little more than usual? Hey y'all, editing Kayla here yet again. I just wanted to make a quick interjection. I realized that I didn't really film myself on Sunday because I was so tired. So the time I did spend reading was literally just me powering through reading, trying to, you know, complete this challenge. So that's why there wasn't any footage from Sunday. And I'm going to quick just talk about kind of what I did read on Sunday in the next clip. Oh, and then after Divine Rivals, I did read one more book. I'm not going to tell you what the book is because it's part of a video that I'm doing, and the video's not coming out till November. So just know there's gonna be a bunch of books that I'm reading for that video. I did read that book. It was like a quick little novella, and then what was frustrating is like after I finished that novella, I technically still had 10 minutes left, and it was also like 9 o'clock at night yesterday, and I was like, what am I supposed to do for these 10 minutes? So I did start another book that I literally got like maybe 5 pages in, and then my timer went off, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to bed. But with that noted, I do just want to do a final little wrap up of like my time spent reading and like just some takeaways from doing this little challenge. So in total for the entire week was supposed to read 34 hours and 45 minutes. Like, that doesn't seem like a long time, but it also seems like a long time. And I think it seems like a long time because, like, I'm reflecting on it after the fact. Like, if I had given that total at the beginning of the video, I'd probably been like, oh, easy peasy, like, a day and a half? We can totally do that. But reflecting back on it, I'm just like, oh my God, that was so much. And also, I know I mentioned this earlier, I don't know how people do this challenge. I genuinely think to do this challenge, you either have to have a very flexible schedule, you have to be doing booktube for your full-time job, or you have to take time off to do this, because at least how my day is structured, the only time I really had to consume books was kind of during my workday and then a little after my workday. Yeah, that's all I really got. I don't know where I was going with that statement. Takeaways from doing this. Reading is exhausting, apparently. Oh my goodness, it's like literally, y'all, after Saturday, I was pooped. Tired. Count me out, coach. Would I do this challenge again? I think if I were to do this challenge again, it would definitely be on like a week I took off. Oh, like I was just off of work and I had nothing else to do. I don't think I could do this challenge again, like just during a normal work week. Personally, I will note, I thought this little wrap up was going to be me telling you guys that I didn't complete the task. Because yesterday, again, we went shopping, got home, I was so tired. I didn't read at all before we went shopping, so I was just like, guess I'm not reading today. But I finally like got in the headspace to finish Divine Rivals, read a quick little novella, and yeah, I'm very proud of myself for finishing this challenge. But it's definitely gonna be a while before I do a challenge like this again. It makes me think like maybe I don't want to do a 24-hour challenge, because I've thought about doing those, and now I'm just like, do I really want to do a 24-hour challenge? I mean, it is less than 34 hours. But with that, y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me in this video today. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.